Introduction. This sickness is not unto death. John 11:4. And yet Lazarus died. For when the disciples misunderstood the words which Christ adjoined later, Lazarus our friend is asleep, but I go to wake him out of his sleep. 11:11. He said plainly, Lazarus is dead. 11:14. So then Lazarus is dead, and yet this sickness was not unto death. He was dead, and yet this sickness is not unto death. Now we know that Christ was thinking of the miracle which would permit the bystanders, if they believed, to see the glory of God. 11:40, the miracle by which he awoke Lazarus from the dead, so that this sickness was not only not unto death, but, as Christ had foretold, for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. 11:4. Oh, but even if Christ had not awakened Lazarus from the dead, is it not true that this sickness, that death itself, was not a sickness unto death? When Christ comes to the grave and cries with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth, 11:43, it is evident enough that this sickness is not unto death. But even if Christ had not said these words, merely the fact that he, who is the resurrection and the life, 11:25, comes to the grave, is it not a sufficient sign that this sickness is not unto death? Does not the fact that Christ exists mean that this sickness is not unto death? And what help would it have been to Lazarus to be awakened from the dead, if the thing must end after all with his dying? How would that have helped Lazarus, if he who did not live, who is the resurrection and the life for everyone who believes in him? No, it is not because Lazarus was awakened from the dead. Not for this can one say that this sickness is not unto death, but because he lives. Therefore this sickness is not unto death. For humanly speaking, death is the last thing of all, and humanly speaking, there is hope only so long as there is life. But Christianly understood, death is by no means the last thing of all. Hence it is only a little event within that which is all, an eternal life. And Christianly understood, there is in death infinitely much more hope than merely humanly speaking there is when there not only is life, but this life exhibits the fullest health and vigour. So then, in the Christian understanding of it, not even death is the sickness unto death, still less everything which is called earthly and temporal suffering, want, sickness, wretchedness, affliction, adversities, torments, mental sufferings, sorrow, grief. And even if such things are so painful and hard to bear when we men say, or at all events the sufferer says, this is worse than death, everything of the sort, which, if it is not a sickness, is comparable to a sickness, is nevertheless, in the Christian understanding of it, not the sickness unto death. So it is that Christianity has taught the Christian to think dauntlessly of everything earthly and worldly, including death. It is almost as though the Christian must be puffed up because of this proud elevation above everything men commonly call misfortune, above that which men commonly call the greatest evil. But then in turn, Christianity has discovered an evil which man as such does not know of. This misery is the sickness unto death. What the natural man considers horrible, when he has in this wise enumerated everything and knows nothing more he can mention, this, for the Christian, is like a jest. Such is the relation between the natural man and the Christian. It is like the relation between a child and a man. What the child shudders at, the man regards as nothing. The child does not know what the dreadful is. This the man knows, and he shudders at it. The child's imperfection consists, first of all, in not knowing what the dreadful is, and then again, as an implication of this, in shuddering at that which is not dreadful. And so it is also with the natural man. He is ignorant of what the dreadful truly is, yet he is not thereby exempted from shuddering. No, he shudders at that which is not the dreadful. He does not know the true God. But this is not the whole of it. He worships an idol as God. Only the Christian knows what is meant by the sickness unto death. He acquires, as a Christian,